Hi my YouTube family, this is Melody from Home Garden and Fashion. I thank you so much for being here today. Today we're going to have a wonderful time together. Hi my YouTube family, this is Melody from Home Garden and Fashion. Please welcome to Home Garden and Fashion. Today I'm going to do a story. The name is Molly and the Magical Mountain, and this is redoing it because last time the audio was not good, so I'm going to do it in my camera. First of all, I would like to say I'm so thankful for all my viewers and subscribers, and I'm so thankful to the God and universe for my $100 camera which I record my stories. Previously I did it in my phone. I believe there was a lot of background noises because I did it outside. So anyway, so I hope all of you are doing wonderful and all of you are tucked in inside the bed, nice, warm, comfortable with your jammies and your warm sleeping tea, and you have started on your breathing. So breathe gently 8 times and then I will start my story. So here it goes. Molly and the Magical Mountain. The story is written by me. It came from my imagination, as when I sit outside after my walk in a park, I imagine many things and I write out the stories. Every time I do the story, it will be different because I'm not reading from a scripture, I'm just saying from my story which I imagine. So Molly was an average girl and she lived in a village, and this was very rural village. There was not many things available, so Molly had a pretty simple childhood. She went to school and then she went to high school, and after that she went to college. Just this ordinary simple college next to her village in a city, and she just had basic education. Molly had a talent. She loved to sing. Singing brought her the greatest joy and happiness. When Molly sang, she knew that she was in the right place and she had found herself. Nothing in this world brought her the kind of joy and happiness that singing brought her. So she was very attracted, devoted towards singing. Molly's parents did not think singing was a good career for a woman. So Molly's dream of becoming a singer died in her heart before it could bloom. But she did not give up hope. She had a hope. She knew that she was born to be a singer. She knew that in her past life she was a singer. She knew that nothing in this world would stop her from singing or being a singer. And she knew this also, that audience might be different. She may not make any money by singing if it's not a career, but she knew that she had to sing in order to be happy. So Molly's parents, they arranged her marriage as soon as she finished her college, and she got married. And this was an arranged marriage, as like with every arranged marriages, people usually learn to get along with the marriage, get along with the situation, and people just somehow manage so that they could stay in the marriage and raise their kids. As Molly didn't have a job and she was not independent, she was depending on her husband. So she also made adjustment and stayed in the marriage even though she was not happy. Molly's husband was not very supportive or loving, and she did not pay any attention to that. She just stayed home, cleaned, cooked, and took care of the kids. And when she got some extra time, she would just sing, and this kept her going, and this brought a lot of joy to her heart, a lot of calmness to her heart. So Molly's husband never bothered to support her dream of singing. He was not willing to support anything, let alone singing. So after a hard day of work, in the evening, Molly would go for a walk, and in her walk, she will stop by in a trail, in a wooded trail under a tree. This is her favorite tree. She will sit underneath there, and then she will drink some water, eat little snack, and she had a talent of painting, rock painting. So she will pick up few rocks on the way, and she will take them and paint. She will paint, and then she will sing while painting, and then she used to come home. So this was her daily routine. So her dinner and everything she finished by 7 p.m. and after 7 p.m. she kept the time for herself. She will go for a nice walk. She will carry her painting supplies, and then she will leave these supplies under her favorite tree in the trail, and while coming back she will sit there and paint and sing. And the passers-by always thought, why is this woman singing under a tree? But then again, her voice was so melodious, so good, that they just stopped and listened. And sometimes they bought her painted rocks and they paid her money. Molly usually used that money to buy music CDs and musical instruments because she loved singing. Now, from her childhood, Molly was extremely fascinated by the music legend Lata Mangeshkar. Now, Molly wanted nothing in this world more than to become the next Lata Mangeshkar. She kept Lata Mangeshkar's picture all her life over her bed, and she will wake up and first thing she will do is pray to God, and the next she will pray to Lata Mangeshkar as if she is her guru. And then whenever she got time, she would just sing her songs over and over again, and Molly copied them exactly the way Lata Mangeshkar sang, and they sounded even exactly. All she wanted in her life to become the next Lata Mangeshkar. That's all she wanted. Singing gave her so much joy, happiness that nothing in this world gave. So one day, Mali was really kind of sad. Mali's children grew up, they got education, and they left home and they went on their own ways. And the husband was never there for her anyway, but even when the children went away, the husband became even more distant. So Mali found herself very lonely. So she went, and this day, since she was not feeling so well, she just sat under the tree and she did not go for a walk, and she just started painting. Molly painted the sky, and then she looked up, and this is the first time that she noticed that there's a mountain nearby, that jogging trail nearby that wooded area, which she never noticed before. She was like, wow, that's a beautiful mountain. She was so drawn to the beauty of the mountain, but most importantly, what drew her attention was the calmness this mountain had. This mountain was so calm, so still, yet the mountain had such happiness. Molly saw the mountain was so strong, standing still, surrounded by so many fruits and vegetable trees. The most beautiful, calming waterfall coming out of the mountain, and this waterfall created this stream where the mountain had few animals which were coming and drinking water from that. Molly was so surprised that this mountain is there all this time, and she never paid attention. She said, "Oh, my friend, oh, mountain, I'm so sorry that I never paid any attention to you. You were so beautiful, so calm. You were like in such a meditative state. Please grant me this meditative state so I could be restful and calm just like you." As she was talking to the mountain and painting, so after she painted the sky, then she painted the mountain, which she fell in love instantly. And then she painted the trees, and there were lots of fruits and vegetable trees. And then she painted the beautiful waterfall and the water stream coming down, and then the animals. She painted all this, and it looked so pretty on that rock. So few passers-by wanted to buy that rock. She said, "Oh, miss, this rock is so beautiful. Would you sell it to me?" And she said, "No, I'm in love with this rock because I just discovered this peaceful mountain. It is so peaceful. It's calling my name. It's my friend, so I cannot sell you." Molly didn't know this was full moon. Anyway, she didn't care for it anyway. So after she drew all this, she became silly, and she drew a door on that rock. And the center of the mountain, she drew a door. She even became much more sillier, and she drew a doorknob. And then she was just like a child. She drew the doorknob and she touched it and said, "Knock, knock, knock," 3 times. To Molly, this was a way to feel happy, nothing more. But that was full moon night, and Molly's prayers were answered that night. That's the night when Molly wished, Molly drew, and she did the quantum jumping. Yes, that's what she did. She did the quantum jumping. As soon as she did knock, 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 the beautiful magical rock flew out of her hand, started flying in the sky. Molly could not believe her eyes, but she wasn't gonna let this rock go. She had put a lot of time, energy, happiness, sadness into that rock. So she had to chase the rock and grab it. She kept chasing the rock. She's running after the rock without looking anywhere. She ran, and the rock took her to the mountain. And then the rock got stuck on the body of the mountain. Molly went and she grabbed the rock. and she held on to the door and she said, knock, knock, knock. As she said that, the rock spread throughout the body of the mountain, and in the place of the door where she did knock, knock, the mountain split in half. And there Molly had the greatest surprise of her life waiting to be discovered by her. Molly saw beautiful things inside. As soon as the mountain became two pieces, split in the middle, inside there were lights. These lights were flashing and saying, welcome, Molly, to your very own magical music studio. Welcome, Molly, to your very own magical music studio. Welcome, Molly, to your very own magical music studio. It said 3 times and flashlight. Molly didn't think of anything. She just went inside straight. And she saw everywhere hundreds of musical instruments, so beautiful. Everywhere hundreds of sparkling lights shining, and there's this huge revolving stage with huge microphones. There were big television sets playing the legendary Lata Mangeshkar songs. She was so mesmerized. She was so astonished. She didn't know what to say. She was like, oh my God, am I dreaming? Am I awake? She started pinching herself everywhere to be sure that she's not dreaming. This is not a dream. And the mountain said, no, Molly, this is not a dream. This is your reality. Molly was so happy that she started crying. She could not hold on to the happiness. She was like, oh my God, magical mountain, you brought me to the place which I've been wanting all my life. I never wanted anything more than this. This is where I belong. This is where I came from. This is where everything feels so right. She could not contain her happiness. She one by one, she went and touched every instrument. And all these instruments were alive. Each instrument that she touched, the instrument said, hello dear Miss Molly, good to see you again. How you been doing? She was so shocked, yet she knew that she knows that instrument. She's been there before and she has a close connection with those instruments. There were some peoples in her previous life and now they are instrument. So she said hi to each and every one of those instruments. She hugged them, she kissed them, and they gave her beautiful musical notes in return. Every instrument started playing. Welcome, Molly, good to see you again. Welcome, Molly, good to see you again. Molly was so happy. She was the happiest woman in the earth. She went up to those beautiful, revolving, magical stage with big microphone. Then the instrument said, what are you waiting for, Molly? Sing the legendary Lata Mangeshkar song. And she started singing. She did not know the lyrics. She did not know the songs completely. She just hummed previously, sang. But now everything was clear, everything was fluent. She sounded exactly like Lata Mangeshkar. She sang at least 100 songs, and all the musical instrument gave her the karaoke. They played with her. This was the magical moment. This was the moment she waited all her life for. She was so happy. She didn't imagine what she has done. She is like, oh my god, this mountain is full of fruits and vegetables and water. I can live all my life. And this has the most beautiful musical studio. And to top it all up, it had a beautiful cottage for Molly to live. Molly always wanted to live in a small cottage, so it had everything that she wanted, and she quantum jumped in a place where all the things that she ever wanted is there in one place. And all these things she drew it on rocks on a daily basis. So she was so happy. But the day went and came to the night. It was almost 10 o'clock night. Molly said, oh my god, I need to go home. So she hugged and kissed, and everybody, she thanked the mountain. She kneeled down, she, oh great mountain, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for giving me this musical, magical land to escape my present dimension, to escape my present life and come here and be what I always wanted to be. Thank you. And then she said to everybody goodbye. I will come back again. To this, the magical mountain said, oh my child, you are very welcome. You can come back any time you wish. This is your magical musical world. You come back here anytime you want. You can stay here. But remember, you must choose one dimension. You must choose to be here or choose to be on your other dimension. Now, I'm not saying that if you choose to live in both, I will take away one, but its choice is yours. You have to make the choice, because if you live in two dimensions, one of it is going to rock. So you have to live in one. Molly went home. Her husband was furious. Her husband said, Molly, where were you? I was worried sick. This is 10 o'clock. Where's dinner? You are not waiting home with the dinner. Molly said, I'm sorry. I went to visit a sick friend and I lost track of the time. So she quickly did all her household chores and got the food and everything ready. From next day, Molly was always ready. Early morning she woke up and she finished all the chores, and then she got ready to go to the magical mountain. She went there on a regular basis. Now gradually Molly became a different person. She became very happy. Her husband Daryl noticed this change on Molly. So he said, one day he was thinking in his head, he was thinking, think Molly is having an affair because she's so happy lately and she's finishing all her work quickly and then she's waiting for something. So Molly waited for her husband to leave home for work, and then she right away went to the magical mountain and she sang her songs till she was fully content. She ate the fruits and vegetables in the magical mountain. She drank the water from the stream. And this is her new found life. as if she has found her youth, she has found her childhood back again, as if she has found a new love, a teenage love. So she was so happy. And her husband could not stand that happiness. He knew Molly was having an affair. So one day he followed her. He followed her to the mountain. Molly didn't see him. He was hiding back in the trees every now and then. And then as Molly reached to the mountain, she did knock, knock, knock 3 times. Molly's husband Darrell watched it, and as soon as she entered, he knocked, knocked 3 times, but the mountain did not open. So Gerald waited, waited. He came back home again. He went there and he waited. And around 4 o'clock, Molly came out and he followed her home. And home, as soon as Molly entered, he said, "Where were you?" Molly said, "I went to visit a friend." And then Daryl said, "No, you did not go visit a friend because I followed you and I went to the mountain and I saw you knocking on the mountain and you went inside the rock." Now this is all seems very crazy. How could you go inside the rock, inside the mountain? I tried, but I couldn't go. So Molly explained all the details in the story, and Gerald did not believe. Molly took him the next day, and she tried with the mountain, but mountain would not let Daryl in. So Molly went in and she asked the magical mountain, "Oh, magical mountain, why you won't let Daryl in so he can see what I'm doing here?" Then the mountain said, "Oh, my child, you have asked for it. You drew it. You prayed. You wanted it more than anything. So you're the only one can come to this side. Daryl did not want it all this for you, and he did not want it all this for himself, so he cannot come. And you need to understand So when the magical mountain did not let Daryl in and explain why Daryl could not come in, Molly had no choice but to come home with Daryl because Daryl insisted that. And that time the mountain spoke to Molly and said, "Oh dear, my child, I have warned you. You need to make a choice. You need to continue living in one dimension. You cannot walk on both the dimensions. It would be as if you are crossing the river, keeping your feet in two boats. You have to choose one boat. Whichever boat you choose, you will sit on that, and which one you didn't choose, you have to let it go." So Molly came home, and Daryl said, "Molly, this is all seems very crazy, and I think you're a witch. That's why you can go inside the mountain. So I do not wish to live with you anymore. So this relationship ends here." Molly didn't know what to say. She could not sleep the whole night. She thought about it, and she knew that she has to let go one or the other. Molly, by the morning, made a decision. She realized all her life she wanted nothing but to sing. Now that it is here and she has found everything that she ever wanted, she cannot just let it go. And she was never happy in the marriage life to begin with. So she packed her food and started out. Before she could tell Daryl anything, she had to make sure that she found a job, as Molly was a housewife and she was depending on Daryl. So she went and she found a job. Whatever job she found, right away she took that. It did not pay much, but it was enough for Molly. And she came home, and then when Daryl came back from work, he asked Molly if she had made a decision. Molly said, "Yes, I have made a decision. I have decided to take a job and go live somewhere else." So at this, Daryl was angry, but then there was no choice because Molly made up her mind, and Daryl accused her for being a witch, for going inside the mountain, and she wanted to sing more than anything in this world. So she took whatever she needed, and next morning she went to the mountain and she said, "Oh dear mountain, oh dear my mom, my dad, you're for me now, my mom and my dad and everything else, and I have came to you because I chose this dimension to be here, because here I feel content, here I feel happy, here I feel I have a purpose of life, and this makes me so happy to be able to sing all the songs and live here." So Molly lived there happily ever after. She would go to her work. She got a job at a beautiful restaurant to sing. So evening she would spend the whole evening singing melodious songs and making everybody happy. All the customers loved Molly. They loved her music, and they gave her lots of money. And she would come back to the magical mountain, and then she would sing, and she would live there, live in a cottage, and whatever money she got, she would bring lots of seeds for fruits and vegetable and plant all those seeds all over the mountain and take care of all the plants and fruits and vegetables and take care of the animals on the mountain. And Molly did not forget the wooded tree, which was her favorite tree, the walking trail. She would come to the wooded tree and walking trail with basket and baskets of fruits and vegetables which she grew, and she will just give it away to people. All the runners, joggers, passerby, she will give it away, and she will sell some of it, and she will sell her painted rocks, and the people just gave her money for her fruits and vegetables which she grew. And Molly's children were all grown up and they were doing their work, and Molly knew that no one in this world could take their money with them when they die. They all have to be here, everything will be left here. So whatever money she made, she took that money to help out the poor and the needy and the homeless center and the orphanage. To the orphan kids, she will take her fruits and vegetables on Sunday and give it to them. She will take blankets and foods and vegetables to the homeless and give it to them. Molly found a new purpose for a life, for living, for being happy and joyous, and she decided to make a mark in this universe. So one day when she will no longer be here, people will remember her for the noble act that she did, because she was here to serve and she intended to serve every possible way she could. For the next 30 years, she lived the most beautiful life. And hi, thank you so much for being here today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment and share this video. Thank you. May God bless you all.